Hey guys, welcome to another episode of M Traveler 7. So today I'm going to be talking about my latest trip and doing my Contiki review. So I went to Europe with Contiki, and Contiki is a travel group that's solely dedicated to 18 to 35-year-olds. And they travel all around the world, and you're traveling with very like-minded people who want to see some sights, experience new cultures, make new friends, and a lot of drinking. So my trip was the European Discovery, the winter version. I went in mid-October, and that's when their winter program starts. So it was 2 weeks around Europe, starting in London, then went to Amsterdam in the Netherlands, St. Goar in Germany, and Munich, and then we went down to Innsbruck in Austria. Then we went south into Venice, Rome, and Florence in Italy, and back up north to Lucerne in Switzerland, and then we ended the trip in Paris. And that was all in 2 weeks, and we spent 1 day in each city except Rome and Paris. Paris we had 2 days, and I felt like I was on the Amazing Race because it was go, 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 travel here, see some sights, go to the hotel, check in, see some sights again, sleep, wake up, do it all over again, and it just felt like the Amazing Race. So with Contiki, they have these optional activities called Me Time, and it's not included in the overall price of your tour. Now these are extra things that you can do on your free time. Now there's a lot of good things about these Me Time optionals because like in Venice, they had an optional gondola ride. So you get on the gondola and you travel through the canals of Venice. And that is a really good add-on because it's very expensive just to do it on your own. And plus you're with the Contiki group. A lot of the group members do these Me Time opportunities. I think only a handful of them didn't do all of them. I know I did everything except one. But they're a great way to further enhance your cultural experience. And it is extra. You have to pay it on the tour, so you have to bring enough euros or dollars or wherever you're traveling in the world to cover that. But it's a good way to experience further into the culture and history or tradition of the country that you're in. So with Contiki, it's an organized group, and all your meals, your transportation, and accommodations are included to some degree. So obviously you have to pay for your flight or your transport to the starting location. If you're going to Europe, the starting location is London. While you're on the tour, all transportation is included. So you go from Munich down to Lucerne, or you go from all these different places, and all your transport is included. Mine was a bus. The only time on the tour where you were kind of responsible for your own transportation is if you were going to stay out really, really late. Then you would have to take a taxi back to your hotel. Also, if you had free time, so free time is optional to well, it's not optional, but it's additional to the Me Time opportunities. So you can do the Me Time opportunities or you can go on your own. If you do the Me Time opportunities, there'll still be free time to go on your own. So like in Paris, we had the whole entire afternoon free. In Rome, we had half of the afternoon for free, went on another tour, and then we had the other half of the afternoon for free. So for that, to get around, you can either walk, you can either take a taxi, you can take the metro. And the metro is a good way to do it because you can get a day pass and you can hop on, hop off, get to your destination very quickly, see the sights, see what you want to do, go to a restaurant. So that's the only time where you have to really kind of worry about your own transportation. Meals, again, kind of the same thing. All your meals are kind of taken care of. If you're staying at a hotel, I was staying primarily at a hotel, breakfasts are pretty much included. So there's lots of meals that are included. There's a lot of dinners that are included. There's our optional dinners that you can pay for extra. Like in Venice, you had to pay for your dinner, But it was a nice experience. In Florence, you had a Tuscany dinner. Again, that was extra added cost. And lunches are pretty much all on your own because you're traveling on the road, so most times you'll stop at a service center. So accommodations on the Contiki trip, at least my Contiki trip, was pretty decent. There were a couple good hotels in Munich and in Paris. We had some pretty, North American style hotels, even though the rooms were pretty small. Other places were kind of sketchy. One place in Florence had like a big metal gate to close in front of the hotel, which was kind of sketchy. A lot of these places don't have elevators, so you're gonna have to carry your luggage up the stairs. Me and my roommate, we were always up on the higher elevations, so it involved a lot of lifting up of our suitcases and that. Rooms are pretty small. The bathrooms are pretty small too. I know there was one place, again, in Florence, some of my tour companions couldn't even close the shower door because the shower was just too small. So when you're on a Contiki trip, you are going with a registered tour guide and driver from Contiki. So these people are going to take you everywhere. They know the cities very intimately. They know how to get to the cities. They know what to do. If you wanted to see something specific, just ask them and they will let you know. They are very knowledgeable. They're there to make you have an awesome time. So the attractions on my tour were, the typical European attractions that you go see when you go to Rome. You go see the Colosseum. In Paris you go to the Eiffel Tower and that. The good thing about going with a group is that most of those things are included in the cost already. Now the Roman Colosseum wasn't, but St. Peter's Basilica, for instance, was included. And the good thing about this is that it's a group. So your entrance to St. Peter's Basilica, for instance, is organized long before. So the tour group has a set time that you have to be at St. Peter's Basilica. You have to be at the Eiffel Tower at this time. So once you get there, you get off the bus, you go to the group entrance. You might have to wait for a couple minutes because other groups are coming in at the same time. You might be delayed in that, but you're literally going straight in. You go through security, and then you're in the attraction. Okay, so one of the last things that I wanted to talk about, if you're thinking of doing a Contiki trip, I'm sure you probably watched a lot of YouTube videos on reviews and stuff like that. I know I did. And one thing which you probably have heard of a lot is this thing called the Contiki cough. Prior to me leaving, I took these things called Cold Effects, which is an immune boosting pill that boosts your immune system. That way, you don't get sick often, right? So I took these 2 weeks before my trip. I took them every single day of my trip. And I even brought like cold and flu pills and stuff that if I got sick, I could take, right? So the first week went by, no problem. And then started getting sick, so I started taking my cold and flu pills. It did absolutely nothing. And I was sick for pretty much the rest of the trip. The thing is, you're on a bus with possibly 50 other people. The circulation on the bus is not, it's decent enough, but it's not the greatest per se. And if one person comes on the tour sick, everyone will get sick. There were a lot of people sicker than me, people who got sick at the beginning of the tour and then were fine at the end of the tour. Some people didn't get sick at all. I took all the necessary precautions for me not to get sick, and I still got sick. So this was my old Contiki overview. If you're thinking of doing a Contiki trip, I highly recommend it, especially if you're 18 to 35-year-olds. On my trip, the majority of the people were kind of at my age or younger, so it's more of a younger crowd. But we did have a couple people in their early 30s there. And it all depends on what tour you're. You could go on another Contiki tour, and it could be everyone's like 26 to 35. It's a great experience, a lot of fun, You may get to meet people from all over the world, United States, United Kingdom, Australia, countries around Europe. So you get to really see a lot of people from around the world and remain in contact with them. You get to see a lot of the sights, and it's a great way to travel and experience the world, especially if you haven't been to that part of the world before. So thank you for watching. Over the next couple of weeks, I'll be releasing more videos from my trip from Europe with Contiki and doing a review on each city. Please subscribe to my channel, check out my previous episodes, and we will see you next time.